The WNBA All-Star Draft was fun between Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier, the team captains, picking the players, picking the rosters. But the most interesting aspect was the coach swap, because Clark traded Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of her team, or was to be the coach of her team, to Collier for Sandy Brondello, the coach of the New York Liberty.
Imagine a sterile television studio buzzing with the low hum of production lights and the polite manufactured energy of a live broadcast. The WNBA All-Star Draft is underway, an event typically marked by friendly banter and predictable choices. It's supposed to be a celebration of the league's talent, a fun diversion from the competitive grind of the season. But on this day, beneath the surface of forced smiles and casual chatter, a cold war was about to turn hot. While everyone else was playing checkers, Caitlin Clark was about to flip the entire chessboard over. What happened next wasn't just a trade, it was a public execution, a raw display of power that sent a shockwave through the entire sports world. She didn't just draft a team, she seized a crown, and in the process publicly fired her biggest and most powerful critic.
Caitlin Clark just made the funniest All-Star selections ever. She just picked her friends. She made sure she picked no ops, as people like to call them. She made sure there were no ops on her team. If she's played with a player before, like Sonia Citron, she picked her. Gabby Williams, she picked nobody that's tweeted a negative thing about her. She's picked nobody that has said a negative thing about her in the media. She picked none of her rivals.
Yo, this is the first time I've ever seen this, man. The first time out of all the times I've seen where two star players are picking up players. They ask for a trade, or the median person asks for a trade, and they're talking about trading the coach.
The stage for this drama was set months earlier, steeped in controversy and resentment. When Caitlin Clark was announced as an all-star team captain, the league assigned her a coach, Cheryl Reeve. To the casual fan, this might seem innocuous, but to anyone paying attention, it was a match made in hell. Reeve isn't just the successful head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, she is the powerful head of the USA Basketball Committee. This is the very same committee that ignited a national firestorm by leaving Caitlin Clark, the most talked about, most watched, and most transformative player to enter the WNBA in a generation, off the 2024 Olympic roster. The public backlash was immense. The committee offered flimsy corporate-speak justifications about roster continuity and needing more veteran experience, but the public saw through it. They saw a gatekeeping establishment seemingly punishing a young star for her meteoric rise. Reeve, as the face of that committee, became the lightning rod for all that public anger. Now, in a spectacular twist of institutional irony, she was mandated to coach the very player she had so publicly snubbed. The tension was suffocating.
With you here, Caitlin, you said you might be aggressive on the trade market once this opened up. Is there any player that you're looking to get to? And remember, it has to be apples to apples trade here. Starter for starter, reserve for reserve. The good news is you can't go wrong with this type of talent. Anyone looking to make a deal here?
To be completely honest, I love my team. I think they're great. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello.
Caitlin Clark was supposed to be coached by Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve. Nafisa Collier was supposed to be coached by New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello. They swapped coaches. Cheryl Reeve, dodged the bullet. Thank God I don't need to coach Caitlin Clark, man. Man, I can't deal with that. I would have had to swallow so much pride. I can't do that. Fee, she probably called him the Fee, talk to Caitlin, please. I can't coach her. I can't do it. This book's about to come out. You know what they're going to be saying if I'm coaching Caitlin Clark and the book's out? Oh, God. Fee, please.
But this animosity wasn't born from a single roster decision. Its roots run much deeper, tangled in a web of professional jealousy and passive-aggressive poison. As Clark's fame exploded, rewriting viewership records and selling out arenas on the road, a quiet resentment festered within the league's old guard. Cheryl Reeve appeared to be the unofficial leader of this resistance. She embarked on a subtle but persistent social media campaign campaign that was impossible to ignore. She would post with pointed hashtags like Psycher12 Teams, a clear shot at the media's singular focus on Clark. She'd make statements emphasizing that the W is more than one player. While these sentiments sound noble in a vacuum, their timing was damning, as Clark was single-handedly elevating the entire league to unprecedented heights of cultural relevance. Reeve was consistently trying to diminish her. It was a classic tale of an established figure feeling threatened by a disruptive new force. To her supporters, she was a guardian of league parity. To Clark's millions of fans, she was simply a hater, trying to shrink a superstar down to size.
Of course, Reeve is Collier's head coach for the Minnesota Lynx, so that makes sense. But the drama is going to come from Reeve having previously been critical on social media about the amount of attention Clark received relative to the rest of the league, not to mention being the coach of Team USA that Caitlin Clark was so famously snubbed from.
Brundello was like, oh yeah, this is good. This is good. This is good. So wait, Caitlin Clark had Chrissy Sides, who never let her. Okay. Now she's got Stephanie White, who wants to do off ball. Oh, okay. And now Sadie Bordel's like, wait, oh, I could show Caitlin what she's been missing this whole entire. I can set up an offense like, oh, here comes recruitment year of 2028. Caitlin Clark actually has a complete roster to start her team. She's got Caitlin Clark at the 1, Sabrina Ionescu at the 2, Satu Sabali at the 3. She must have heard the chatter in the offseason of fans saying, let's get Satu Sabali. I'm just saying, she might have heard a thing or two. We got AB at the 4 and Asia Wilson at the 5. Starters for starters, this should be a victory. I know it's the All-Star game, but
all of that simmering tension, the Olympic snub, the social media digs, the palpable disdain finally erupted under the hot lights of the ESPN studio. The host, oblivious to the drama about to unfold, tossed a softball question to Clark about potential player trades. Clark leaned forward, a calm, almost predatory smile playing on her lips. To be completely honest, I love my team, she began, the perfect disarming setup. She praised her picks, lulling everyone into a false sense of security. Then she delivered the kill shot. I don't have any intentions of really trading any of them. She paused for a beat, letting the moment hang in the air. I don't know if this is in the rules, she continued, her voice dripping with a calculated, feigned innocence that made the statement even more brutal. I don't really care. And there it was, the ultimate power play. With 3 simple words, she dismissed the entire league establishment. But she concluded, announcing the verdict as a preordained fact. We are going to trade coaches. The studio fell into a stunned silence. This wasn't a request, it was a decree. She had, in the most public way imaginable, fired Cheryl Reeve.
Between the players was a lot of fun, and Caitlin Clark also wound up with all of the Fever members on her squad as well, meaning Aaliyah Boston, Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell will be a trio in Indianapolis for All-Star. So that's the way it went down. Here are the teams. You can see Caitlin Clark celebrating what she was able to accomplish here. That's her squad. Clark, Boston, Ionescu, Wilson, Sabali, Mitchell, Gabby Williams. I love Gabby Williams. What a player. Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen, Jackie Young, Thornton, Kayla Thornton from the Valkyries. So Clark should have a very fast team there.
Now as Gangster Clark heard Cheryl Crusted Blueberry Muffin Ass Reeve being salty in that press conference, throwing shade at the Fever and said, nope, get her punk ass up out of here. She ain't about to coach my team for the All-Star game, and that's why I call her Gangster Clark, because whatever Gangster Clark wants, Gangster Clark gets.
This move was far more than a simple act of petty revenge. It was a ruthless and brilliant strategic upgrade. Clark didn't just cast Reeve aside, she engineered a trade for Sandy Brondello, the highly respected architect of the New York Liberty. The contrast between the two coaches is a story in itself. On one side, you have Reeve, the critic, the coach who spent months questioning Clark's impact. On the other, you have Brondello, a proven winner who has successfully managed the massive egos and talent talents of a super team, leading them to back-to-back WNBA finals. Brondello's system empowers her stars, creating an offensive flow that lets generational talents like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu thrive. Clark didn't just get rid of a negative influence, she acquired a championship-caliber mind who knows exactly how to maximize a player of her caliber. It was a checkmate move, demonstrating a level of strategic thinking that proved she was playing a completely different game than everyone else.
Bruh, tell me y'all just saw Caitlin Clark destroy Cheryl Reeves on national TV. I know y'all saw free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke, ayy, free smoke. Bruh, Caitlin Clark want all the smoke. Bruh. Bruh, she just annihilated Cheryl Reeve on national television. I didn't see that coming. They asked Caitlin Clark, hey, Caitlin, are there any player trades you like to make? Nah, I'm kind of set with my team, but I would like to trade coaches. I don't know what's gotten into Caitlin Clark. You are leaning into this bad guy role. I love it. I don't know what's gotten into you, Caitlin Clark, but you've been on some I don't give a F lately. I love it. Oh my God, I cannot believe she just eviscerated and embarrassed Cheryl Reeve on national TV like that. They said, hey, would you like to make a player trade? It's better yet, I'll do you one better. Get this fucking coach up out of here. Hey, Caitlin Clark ain't playing, bro.
Her general manager mindset bled directly into her player draft, where she constructed an impenetrable fortress of loyalty and overwhelming talent. With her very first pick, she didn't take the consensus best player available. She took her Indiana Fever teammate, Aaliyah Boston, her first pick off the bench, her other Fever backcourt partner, Kelsey Mitchell. The message was unmistakable. Loyalty is the foundation of her empire. She protects those who protect her. After securing her inner circle, she proceeded to assemble a team of basketball assassins. She drafted Aja Wilson, the league's 3-time MVP, a defensive anchor, and a walking embodiment of championship DNA. She added Sabrina Ionescu, creating a dream backcourt of two of the deadliest long-range shooters on the planet. She picked versatile international star Satou Sabali to round out a starting five that could compete with any in history. Crucially, her roster was a no-ops zone. She meticulously avoided any player who had ever taken a public shot at her, creating a drama-free sanctuary of pure basketball excellence.
When you look at it, I mean, Williams is really fast for a forward. Obviously, Kelsey's very fast. Citron's very fast. Jackie Young's one of my favorite players. Iriafin, a rookie, can get up and down the floor. Ionescu can help spread the floor along with Kelsey and Clark so they can really shoot. Caitlin made sure to get some size. She actually passed up on Paige Beckers to take Sabali, and she took Aja Wilson with her third pick. If Aja had fallen any further down
the fallout from this power play was immediate and seismic. Social media erupted in a tidal wave of support for Clark. Fans celebrated what they saw as the long overdue comeuppance of a league veteran who had underestimated the rookie's power. Comments flooded every platform. Gangster Clark just fired her hater on live TV. I'm here for it. And that I don't really care was the coldest line of the year. The queen has spoken. The public overwhelmingly framed it as a story of a young woman refusing to be disrespected by an old establishment. Meanwhile, Reeve was left in an impossible position, publicly demoted and forced to watch from the opposing sideline as Clark led a super team coached by a superior strategist. The veteran who thought she held all the cards had been completely outmaneuvered, outplayed, and publicly humiliated by a player half her age. In the end, this was so much more than a trade. It was a paradigm shift. It was a declaration that Caitlin Clark is not merely the new face of the league, she is its most formidable new power broker. For months, she had weathered the storms of criticism and professional jealousy with a quiet, steely grace. But grace does not mean surrender. On that day, she showed the world that when her authority is challenged, she will not hesitate to surgically remove the problem. This move was her coronation. She sent a clear and chilling message to every coach, executive, and rival in the WNBA. The old guard has been deposed. A new authority is here, and she is building her empire on her own terms, with her own people. The era of Caitlin Clark has officially begun, and she just proved that she isn't just here to play the game. She's here to own it.